The following program is being brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the following program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.
Welcome to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with Rebecca Hall-Greider. In our program each week, we provide the tools, ideas, and encouragement to help you move ahead on your journey, becoming a more powerful and impactful woman in your own life. Now here's your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider.
Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful week. I'm excited to have you joining us today as we are really looking at how do we shine in our business. Sometimes we feel a little disconnected, or the business is running us, or why isn't the money flowing in? Where do I start? Where do I go? And we're not even looking at how it's affecting our overall life. So today we're going to be talking with an expert who has years and years and years. I'll be sharing some of her resume here. Years and years of experience starting all different kinds of businesses, working with businesses, and bringing in a really balanced approach. So you're going to hear very practical things that you can do, as well as having a balanced perspective, because you need to take care of yourself too in business, or you won't be shining. And it's not a sustainable model if you're getting burnt out and you're always pouring out and out and out, and you're not making sure to take care of yourself within the business so that you're actually thriving. Because most of the time, the reason we're going into business is because we want to have certain things in our life. We want to have some control over certain things, what we're building to matter and move forward, but we can get lost in the business shuffle and actually lose some of ourselves in it. And so I'm really excited about the conversation we're going to have today, and a special focus. The person we're interviewing today has just recently launched her own radio show, on Voice America, which we're very excited about. So she's going to give us the insider's view here on what she's bringing forward, the vision for her show, how you can tune in and learn more. So not only do you get her expertise today in our conversation, but you can tap into it on a regular basis to support you in your life and in your business. So I'm very, very excited about it. Here's why this is so close to my heart. Because I was in business. I was in corporate America. I had a very successful career in the financial arena. I had risen up the ranks and was working for worldwide firms, traveling all over the country as a spokesperson for these different corporations around financial matters. I got to work with their teams, and I found that I was spending so much time traveling, and I was getting a little frustrated and a little bit burnt out. And it was shared with me that, you know what, Rebecca, these are transferable skills, because I was getting so burnt out. I wanted to give up all my licenses, all my years of experience, and go save animals somewhere else in the world. I just was done. And I'm so grateful someone talked me down from that place, because that's not the place to make great decisions, in that stressed out, burnt out place, which our expert will talk with us about today. But I was able to get talked down and look at becoming this thing called an entrepreneur and go into business for yourself. And you can take these skills, and that way you have more control over the hours, the clients you're saying yes to, what you're serving and bringing forward, and how you're navigating through that. And I went, that's exactly what I want. I can do that. And so I became an entrepreneur. And the first 6 months, I was rather shocked that the clients weren't just coming to me, because I was used to just having clients to take care of. That suddenly I had to become the marketing department. I had to become the client service department, the delivery department, the administrative department. And I was suddenly wearing all of these hats, struggling in juggling them all together. And actually having income come in a consistent way. So it was kind of this rude awakening of what I thought it would be and how it became. And fortunately, I was able to tap into experts and mentors so that I could actually start to smooth out that journey, smooth out the cash flow. And to this day, many years later, I'm still an entrepreneur, several businesses in, and I absolutely love it. I can't imagine really living life in a different way now. But that's not how I felt in my first 6 months, even my first year, as I was on that this isn't what I thought journey. Oh my goodness, and got burnt out and reached the end of myself and got scared around money and like all this stuff. And then started to learn how to manage all of those aspects in a way that didn't burn me out, that I actually enjoy and could thrive in. And this expert we're talking today has gone through all of that many times, has launched many businesses, is stepping out and doing all kinds of amazing things that we'll be getting into some of them today, but you'll hear even more on your journey with her through her radio show that she'll be sharing with you. But you're going to get a taster today of some of her information and content. Because for those of you who are either looking at stepping into the life of an entrepreneur, wouldn't it be great to be prepared so you can actually shine and not be shocked as I was when I made that transition? And I remember actually one moment in that when I was getting very frustrated. The person who talked me down from just leaving it all behind and going and saving animals somewhere else in the world, he shared with me, was my dad. And so I came to him when I came to my end of myself, those first 6 months or so, and my journey as an entrepreneur. And I said, this is ridiculous. I'm working harder than I've ever worked before. I wanted freedom. That's part of the reason I did this. And the money's not coming in. I'm scared. I don't know how to make this work. This is really hard. And he goes, welcome to the life of an entrepreneur. You get to work half days. Do you want to work the first 12 or the last 12? And I didn't appreciate that comment at that moment. And I thought, well, I want it to be smoother. There has to be a better way. He goes, well, there can be, but you've got to build it and make it happen. It doesn't just magically fall into place for you. So are you willing to roll up your sleeves and work to make it be that way, to make it what you want it to be? You've got to be in that driver's seat. So I appreciated the reality check. And then I did get a hug. I was going for the hug originally, but I got the reality check first and then the hug. And then I discovered a way to do that. But it was through experts. It was through getting support. It was learning how to do things differently than I had done them before. And I absolutely love the life of an entrepreneur, and I highly recommend it. But do it with preparation. Do it with support. Do it with experts, not a journey to take on your own. So let's take a big breath together collectively. Wonderful. And what I'd love for us to do is to take a moment just to tune in internally here. We run so fast, so many directions. Whether you're an entrepreneur or not, we fill our life so full. In the hustle and bustle of things, we can get a little bit lost. So I love to take a moment to focus in on you and your journey today, because I want you to shine in your life. Whether you're an entrepreneur or not, I want you to be living a life you don't necessarily need a vacation from all the time. Like when you're actually enjoying as you're in it, that you're able to shine. And part of the secret is taking these little time outs, these breaks, this breath, and feeding into you, which you're doing, saying yes to listening and participating in our show today. So I celebrate that. So those of you who are driving, I encourage you, please stay safe. Both hands on the wheel, no texting and driving. For those of you who are tempted, don't do it. Be safe. Those of you who are able to, though, I encourage you to put both feet on the floor, feeling it support you. One hand on your heart, one hand on your head. Let's breathe in deeply. And make it a big belly breath where you're expanding your belly as you breathe in through your nose. And then out through your mouth, lowering your cortisol, all in one powerful breath. And close your eyes. One hand again is on your heart, one hand on your head. You are perfectly safe. And in this quiet space, what is it that you need today? What will support you? on your journey? If you are an entrepreneur or stepping into that space, what is it that would encourage you? What is it that you're struggling with? What will help you? Bring that to our time together today so we can support you. Perhaps you know someone who's an entrepreneur. You'll figure out amazing ways to support them too and hold that space. And a lot of the skills we'll talk about today are transferable to really shine in your life. So what is it that you're looking for today so you can shine in your business, in your life, in your journey? And just receive the information. Sometimes it comes in a picture, words, a song, a tune, a reminder, whatever it may be. Receive that information. And then come back into the room. Open up your eyes. Fully present. Another big breath. Wonderful. And I encourage you to write that information down. What is it that you need? Really capture it so it's top of mind for you and you're on the lookout for whatever it is that will support you on your journey. It's important to know and be on the lookout so you can lean into it and recognize, oh my goodness, that's what I need. That's what will help me move forward. I want you leaning in and actively reaching out for what will help you on your journey. Wonderful. So Sarah, I was wondering if you had something placed upon your heart as we went into that moment and that time of breathing and listening. What was laid upon your heart that you'd like to share?
Hi, Rebecca. I really appreciated your emphasis on people getting support in their entrepreneurial journey. That is so important. And as you know, I came into this work partially through a background of providing support for caregivers. And people talk always about, caregivers need to take care of themselves, but people don't really talk about how entrepreneurs need to take care of themselves. And I think that that's something that is not in the common knowledge, that, this is a stressful and strenuous journey, and that the more support people can get for that, and the more they can feel assured that they have thought of everything and gotten everything taken care of, the more comfortable they can feel, and the better process of making their dreams come true can be.
Beautiful. Exactly. I love that support. Yeah. Because I can tell you that first year was very, very stressful. I came to the end of myself in many ways. and the key to turning the corner there was that support and finding ways to play life my way, the way I was built. And then it became actually joyful and energizing. But that support was so key. Oh, thank you for sharing. And that's what I think was really on my heart too, is just to encourage you. We need your gifts and your talents. There's no one else just like you out there. And with that, it's important that you're supported in your journey, that you're supported along the way. So please lean into the energy I'm sending out there, that you're absolutely needed and valued, and we want you to be able to really shine. So think about the type of support you need so that you can step forward in that way. We're going to our first commercial break here, and as we do that, I want you to take these couple moments, these 2 minutes, to just process what we shared and think about, what is it I need as I'm stepping out in my life, whether it's your life or as an entrepreneur. What do I need? How can I bring support so that I can shine and play to my strengths and serve powerfully? We'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
We're making it easier to listen to the Voice America Talk Radio Network live wherever you go on iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android. Download it from the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation.
Age with Attitude TV is for the woman who does not see her future as a nice little old lady, but rather she sees herself living a bold, juicy, kick-ass second half. Now, if this is the life you want for your second 50, then Age with Attitude TV is for you. You'll find stories to inspire you, plus money and metabolism tips that really work. Check it all out at agewithattitude.tv, presented by Jan Rose Distel. Find us on voiceamerica.tv. And remember, it's never too late to create a life you love.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
Now you don't have to stay linked to your desktop or laptop. Take Voice America on the go and listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you took those couple moments, those 2 minutes, to really lean in and listen. What is it that you need to serve and support you on your journey? And we emphasize support. What kind of support do you have now? Do you need more of that will really help you bring forward what you're called to bring forward and shine? And this is in business, this is in life. These are transferable. They're not just in the business category, but really spending time looking at what's going to nourish you, what's going to empower you, what's going to encourage you on your journey. As you're listening to our conversation today, and we really tap into our expert today, into Sarah's wisdom, I want you to really think about, how does this apply to me? What are the pieces I can take forward with me? Because this show is for you. We want to encourage and empower you on your journey. So really lean in and hold on to those pieces that you can take forward in your life that touch your heart, so that this information becomes living in your life. With that, let me formally introduce our guest here. You heard a little bit of her heart and her passion for support, and let me just share a little bit about her. Her name is Sarah Calhoun, and she has, I shared with you, years and years of experience. We're talking over 35 years of experience with self-generating income, meaning she's helping create it, launching businesses in a variety of fields, from service to sales to consulting. She has a master's in public health and city regional planning. Wanted to make sure I got that right. And research and labor management. Those were some of the other areas, actually, that you had businesses in as well. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's right.
Wide range.
I didn't even realize how many I had until I started really sitting down and looking at it all. So then it just kind of all jumped out at me. But while I was doing it, it wasn't something that was on the front of my brain until I started thinking in terms of how to support entrepreneurs. And I thought, wait a minute, I've been doing that all this time.
Like, that's what I do.
Right.
So I love it. I love it. She has this vast experience in launching all different types of businesses and working with entrepreneurs and supporting them, and really specializes in that self-generating income, because that's something that holds a lot of entrepreneurs back, is that income side. So she has a lot of experience in that, and she's bringing this vast experience and her passion to help businesses to now support entrepreneurs to get on course, to stay on course, to dream and succeed. Please warmly welcome the amazing Sarah Calhoun to the show. Welcome. Yay!
Yay! Well, thank you, Rebecca, for that introduction. I'm so happy to be on the show and talking about my newest project, the radio show. It's going to be very exciting to bring guests and to bring knowledge to people who are starting out on their entrepreneurial journey, and I'm looking forward to that whole process.
We are too, and if I can speak on behalf of Voice America, I want to say that we are excited to have you joining our family, bringing your heart, your wisdom, your experience to so many people around the world. So we are very excited to have you joining our family and sharing your message and your gifts with the world. So a warm welcome on behalf of me and all of Voice America.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But before we dig into all the content I know we have for our entrepreneurs out there and those thinking of stepping into that place and wanting to really shine in their business and their life, can you share why this work of working with entrepreneurs in this way is personally so important to you?
You know, because I have been in that situation so many times, and not feeling any kind of support like you, Rebecca, when you started out, saying, oh dear, this is hard. Might not have used that same word, but this is difficult. I know I would sometimes, wake up in the middle of things and say, why me? How come I'm in this position? And I knew why, because I had stepped into it and because I was the best qualified to do the job. This was when I was writing grants for research programs and developing research protocols and supporting the whole department and my salary by writing these grants. So that was kind of an entrepreneurial way of working within an entity that received the money and doled it out, but that's all they did. I had to bring it in and make sure everybody continued to have a job, and I would sort of feel isolated in that sometimes. And so I feel like, and that in my work with caregivers, in the way that I see caregivers really begin to blossom and thrive and enjoy their caregiving journey, it just was a natural connection to me for entrepreneurs to be, entrepreneurs are busy people too, or people who are thinking of being entrepreneurs are pulled in 16 different directions all the time and need to take care of themselves. So it just seemed like a natural connection to me, and something that I had a lot of insight about and wanted to offer to people.
I love it, and I appreciate that I wasn't the only one that had that. This isn't what I thought. I was actually quite disillusioned and frustrated when I laugh now, but when I hit that space of, oh my goodness, this is really hard, and I have to do all these different things. And I was used to a lot of those pieces being done for me, and now they weren't. I was all. So I'm glad I'm not alone in that experience of realizing, oh, I do need to find a way to do all of these things and yet take care of myself too. So I'm glad to not be alone in that journey, and I'm thankful there are people like you out there that are helping entrepreneurs discover that balance and avoid some of the pitfalls that we can fall into and really support us so it's a smoother journey than perhaps what I experienced in the beginning there. Now,
and as you said, though, once you got going and kind of had it covered, it really is so rewarding and so much more fulfilling than, going to a job and working for somebody else. And, there is a place for that in our lives, and people that works for a lot of people. But for those people who feel like they have a dream or they want something else in their life, their dream may not even be about starting a business. You can be an entrepreneur in some other field. Like you said, going out there and taking care of animals. That can be an entrepreneurial thing, even if it's not a business in the sense that it brings in a lot of money for you. You still would probably in that situation have to write grants or do some kind of fundraising for it. And so that's also a business. And just imagine how much that would fill up your heart. And for each person whose dream is to do something, whatever it is, like that for themselves, it just is so rewarding to be able to step into that life.
Exactly. And what I will say about that is my dream and my vision expanded the longer I was an entrepreneur. And what I get to do now with my life is so rewarding. It's so incredible to me. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is like what I do now. But there was a journey to get there. It didn't just magically happen. There needed to be a planning and discovery and growth. And I had to learn some skills and bring in support in different areas. But you're absolutely right. I'm glad you're reminding us that it is worth the journey. And it is very, very rewarding and something that I can say for Sarah and I highly recommend. You're going to hear a bias as we go through the show together today. Now, tapping into this entrepreneurial perspective, have you always wanted to be an entrepreneur? Was that always on your path and your vision?
Well, yes and no. I mean, I didn't really have specific plans about it, but I didn't think, oh no, I would never consider doing that either. I had experiences, as you mentioned, my graduate school experience when I was there. There was some entrepreneurship-type training classes, and I really enjoyed those. And I have helped with doing green fairs. I have a friend who does work within San Quentin Prison, and she would bring in people to do a job fair there. And a lot of that had to do with entrepreneurial training because, someone gets out of prison, they don't necessarily have an easy time getting a job, so they might as well learn how to hire themselves. Mm-hmm. And then my most successful work experiences were, like I mentioned, when I was developing the job myself and funding my own department. And I kept getting opportunities for doing that sort of thing. So, when I was just an employee, I was not a very good employee, maybe, because I would keep making suggestions about how to improve things, and not all my supervisors were all that thrilled about that. I thought it would make me more valuable to them, but no, that was not the case. So when I got the kinds of work opportunities that gave me responsibility for developing the department, then it just really clicked for me. And then as I went along, I realized, oh, that makes me an entrepreneur. So this is another way of, you can be an entrepreneur within an organization.
I agree, and I think that's a lot of how my start was as well, that a lot of the responsibilities I had in organizations, I was creating, I was managing, I was growing it. Operated very independently, and with responsibility. And so I shined in those types of roles. So I love how you're reminding us that we can have that way of being in the corporate world as well, in the business world. It doesn't necessarily mean that you in and of yourself are an entrepreneur. It's kind of a way of being in life and really leaning into that. Now, we are getting ready to go to our next commercial break. The time goes so quickly, so I encourage you to leverage your opportunity here by really using these next 2 minutes in our break to process the information that we've been shared, see what the pieces are that you're going to take forward with you, breathe those in, lean into them, and take this time to actually listen to some of those commercials too. They're there actually to support you. They're programs and resources that we want to make available to you, and we want you to be aware of, that we feel will really support you. And a lot of the sponsors believe the work that we're doing, empowering women, is important. And so they're putting their time, energy, and resources in it to make this show possible. So they're leaning into you. I encourage you to listen and get to know them as well. And we'll look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Your favorite Voice America Talk Radio Network shows and hosts are in your car, outdoors, and wherever you need them to be. Listen anywhere. Get our mobile app for iPhone, BlackBerry, or Android at the Apple iTunes App Store, BlackBerry App World, or Android Market.
Are you ready for your rush of success? I'm Jim T. Chong, the walk star.
And I'm Cammie Ferry, the theater queen, the host of Rush Hour for Success on Money 105.5 on Thursdays and Fridays at 2 p.m. It's about getting entertained and getting solutions for your success in life and business.
Visit us on Facebook at Money 105.5 FM Rush Hour for Success, or download the Money 105.5 app on your phone for the live stream. That's Thursdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Pacific Time. Get entertained,
get educated, and get your rush on
Rush Hour for Success.
Do you find yourself working tirelessly to keep your business going? Are you finding out that you don't have time for family, friends, any kind of personal life whatsoever? It's time to stop feeling trapped by your business. Tune in to Reclaim Your Freedom with host Shirley Dalton. You'll hear from guests that will help you work on your business instead of constantly in your business and get your life back while the business keeps running and humming. Reclaim Your Freedom airs live every Tuesday at 1 p.m. U.S. Pacific Time on Voice America Business.
The Ugly Awkward Dance Show is designed to help you move through those ugly, awkward, and uncomfortable life experiences. You know what we're talking about. Did you know that each challenge brings a gift? Once you figured that out, even the toughest challenge almost becomes fun. Each program includes engaging guests who talk about what they've overcome, as well as a mindful movement exercise to help you move through your emotional blocks. Yes, there will be awkward dancing too. Visit theuglyawkwarddance.com.
Follow us on Twitter at VoiceAmericaTRN. Get the lowdown on guests, new shows, and your favorites. That's VoiceAmericaTRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed that moment to pause and reflect and really take some time to see what pieces you want to bring forward, what are really going to serve you from all the information that we're sharing. As an entrepreneur in your business and your life, are you having that support? I just feel that is being echoed throughout our conversations. And are you dreaming? Are you moving closer to those things that you want in your life, that you're wanting to build and create? And is there joy in that journey? And if you're finding maybe not so much, that's something to lean into and get some support. Because it's not a solo journey. You don't need to tackle all of these things on your own. It's a much more joyful journey when you have experts and others walking beside you that can point out a pitfall to avoid and help you go this way. It's much more scenic, or whatever it may be in your journey, that you can really get support. So I encourage you to tap into that and start building those muscles as we're talking and having our conversation today. So we have been talking to the amazing Sarah Calhoun, and she's been sharing a little bit about her journey in the entrepreneurial world and how she has been doing that for many, 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 many years, and was even doing it when she wasn't an entrepreneur. She was still being an entrepreneur in a lot of business environments. And as we're shifting our conversation here, I wanted to look at some of the things that she's doing now. I know we opened the show sharing that she's one of our new radio show hosts that we're very excited to have joining us. And I wanted to also have her share some of the other things that she's doing. Now, let me start with the book side of things, and then we'll go into the radio side of things. Does that sound okay to you, Sarah?
That sounds great, Rebecca.
Okay, so you have books. Tell us about the books.
I have a couple of books coming out. Well, I'm writing a chapter in a couple of books. The first one that will come out is coming out in June, and it's called Women on a Mission. Mm. And in that book, I will talk more about my caregiving work and the way that I support caregivers and how I got into that. Tell a little bit about my story about what led me into that work. And then the second book coming out in September is called Come Out of Hiding and Shine.
And that
one, I will talk about my entrepreneurial support work and share my story and about my work in support of other people.
I love it. So 2 powerful books that she's part of, and I believe these are both anthologies that are, and what that is, that means we have a group of authors that have this similar heartbeat, this similar call for what the book is about. So women on a mission, sharing their stories, sharing their wisdom in that journey. And I'm excited. I'm one of the co-authors too, so I'm excited personally as well to be part of this book, Women on a Mission, launching in June. And then Come Out of Hiding and Shine, I'm actually the compiler, and I'm really excited to have Sarah in that book sharing her story. And what I think is beautiful about how you're doing this, Sarah, is you're leveraging both of these opportunities, which is brilliant, and you're sharing both of the things that you are so passionate about out in the world from a mission perspective. And I know there's a lot of overlap, as you shared before, that we need to take care of ourselves as entrepreneurs, that's really valuable and important. And in the entrepreneurial world, a lot of what's going to support the caregivers is thinking about that in a bit of an entrepreneurial way and having care for the caregivers. So I think it's beautiful and love that you're sharing both of these out in the world. Now, if somebody wanted to be in the loop and say yes to these opportunities, is there a way they can get on the list to learn about them and be kept up to date if they're interested in getting those books as they're released?
The best way probably is to go to my website that I will be sharing opportunities for purchasing, or they may be on your guest page as well to purchase the books. And there's also on your host page, there will be a button to click for a free gift from me about a 45-minute support session, Focus Your Dream Discovery session, about what you need going forward, what an entrepreneur needs going forward.
Oh, beautiful. So by saying yes to the free gift, which she's just described a little bit, we'll go into it in a little bit more detail, you'll actually be able to go on both of our lists, so you won't miss anything that's being launched and coming out, and you'll really get this great opportunity to talk to Sarah as an expert and pick her brain and get support. And one of the things I appreciate about you, Sarah, is you have such a vast reach of tools and resources and information that you tap into for these conversations and really bring it centered around the individual, which is powerful and beautiful. So thank you for making that available. Towards the end of the show, we'll let you know how to access those gifts, as well as some gifts that I have for you too. And at what you also get in saying yes to those gifts that will serve and support you is you will get on our lists as well, where we share announcements of things that are coming out or opportunities that we believe will support you. So things to look forward to. Excited about those chapters. Now, tell us a little bit about your radio show. It just recently launched on May 31st, if I have the date correct.
That's right, May 31st, last week.
Okay. And how are you bringing your show forward, and what is your vision? And I know you've shared about that when you launched your show, but can we get an insider's view on what you're bringing forward and your vision for how you're wanting the show to touch the world?
I really want people listening to it to feel that they are getting valuable information. I'm going to be bringing on guests who themselves are entrepreneurs and who have expertise in some field that entrepreneurs need to hear about, whether it's looking into the obstacles within ourselves that prevent us from moving forward, whether it's things like time management, learning about leadership development or planning, steps of the planning process. What plans do you need to have? And then there's the important question of money. Where do you get the money? How do you keep track of the money? Those sorts of things. So those are all topics that we'll have guests talking about, whether it's grant funding or crowdfunding or bookkeeping or visioning, all those sorts of things. And it's just going to be kind of a celebration of the whole entrepreneurial process. So people who are feeling isolated or stuck in the process should come to the show and hear from people every week who are in the place of celebrating the whole development process.
I love that, because we need to remember to celebrate and bring that into our life and bring the fun into funds and bring joy in the journey. So thank you for reminding us. And I appreciate that you are creating a culture and a community with your show to really support the entrepreneur to have that in their life. And you're absolutely correct. Many, many entrepreneurs struggle with feeling isolated and alone and not looking up and connecting because they're so focused on the business. So I appreciate that you're really creating this place where they can look up and get support and pause and get joy back into the journey, which is beautiful. Now, what is your show called?
It's called Busy Women Dream.
Perfect.
Busy Women Dream. And obviously also men can benefit from the advice, but I really focused on women because, women are so often doing for others and don't really recognize sometimes our own talents or our own needs. And that's why I wanted to really put that focus on supporting women and stepping into a different role in their lives.
I love it. Now, do you have any sneak previews of forthcoming shows that you want to share with us today? Or is it going to remain they have to tune in? I always ask.
Well, let's see. Sneak previews of forthcoming shows. My next show coming up is going to be about visioning, how to really look into yourself and give your dream more of a texture and a surface, and being able to define it more for yourself. Sometimes our dreams are somewhat nebulous, and to be able to kind of nail that down a little bit. And then I also have some great folks coming on to talk about different aspects of how to keep track of money and how to get money. So those are all things to look forward to.
I love it. And you actually sounded like you were smiling as you were sharing about the vision. I love that. It felt wonderful. Now, you touched on your gift a little bit, that they have this opportunity to have a conversation with you. Is there anything else that you want to add around that amazing gift?
So the gift is a complimentary session. It's called Focus Your Dream. It's a discovery session, and it's to look at what a person needs going forward from where they're at, right where they're at right now today, whether they've started a business and are feeling a little uncertain about whether they've got all their bases covered, or whether they're thinking of starting something, or, wherever a person is at right now. So we'll talk about what they've done so far and where they want to go and what kind of support would be helpful in that process. And to prepare for the session, when they sign up, I'll send out a checklist to help organize their next step so that we'll have a basis for our conversation.
Beautiful. So this is real support, real help. It's not just let's have a conversation. Sarah's really rolling up her sleeves to walk beside you. So I appreciate you making yourself available in that way. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I want people to feel that, this is a place where they can come and get what they need, whatever they're at, whatever stage they're at.
Wonderful. Well, listeners, we are getting ready for our next commercial break here. So remember how to leverage it. You pause, you listen, you process what's been shared, lean in. And when we come back for our next exciting closing segment, I'll let you know how to access these amazing gifts. We look forward to talking to you in just a moment.
Find out what's happening on the Voice America Talk Radio Network by keeping up with us on Twitter. You can find us at Voice America TRN.
Rebecca Hall Greider's Speaker Talent Search is looking for people like you. With just one 7-minute audition, you could open the doors to hundreds of speaking opportunities. This is a dynamic way to share your message, reach more people, and expand your impact. Apply now at yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent. Finalists get to audition live in front of community leaders looking to fill all kinds of speaking opportunities. Don't wait. Find out more. Visit yourpurposedrivenpractice.net/speaker-talent.
A Announcing a powerful new TV channel featuring programs designed to enhance and transform your life. Make powerful connections, one program at a time. And by doing so, we can bring transformation to the world. Tune in each week to Empowered Connections TV as we add new programs to help you make empowered connections of your own. Visit empoweredconnectionstv.com. That's empoweredconnectionstv.com. And make the most of an incredible life transformation. Get the news on our shows and other happenings by following us on Twitter. Find us at Voice America TRN or twitter.com/Voice America TRN.
You're listening to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives with your host, Rebecca Hall-Greider. If you have a question or comment for Rebecca or her guest, we'd love to hear from you. Please call into the program at 1-866-613-1612. That's 1-866-613-1612. You may also send an email to Rebecca at yourpurposedrivenpractice.com. Now back to Empowering Women, Transforming Lives.
Welcome back, everyone. I want to appreciate and share my appreciation of having all of you join us today. Really coming together, especially if you're an entrepreneur, we forget to do that sometimes. So I celebrate and acknowledge that you have carved this time out of your day-to-day to lean into you so that you can really shine in your business and life. We want you to not just survive, but thrive and shine. And I hope that some of the conversation we've had today, that we've had you leaning in and thinking about things, are supporting you in that journey. Sarah had shared in the previous segment about her gift of really giving you her valuable time and expertise to really help you look at where you're at and where you want to go, and do you need some support in that? And how could that come together so that you can shine, you can really thrive in your business and your entrepreneurial experience, not having to do it all on your own. It's not a solo journey. And I wanted to let you know I have some gifts I like to make available as well. So I'm going to share in a moment where to access all of these, but here's just a few that you can tap into. When you go to the magic page I will tell you about, you're going to see a library of resources that are available to you. And some of them that I like to make available are ebooks, some resources that you can tap into real time to support you around money. It can be around getting up on stage and being seen, because frequently entrepreneurs are speakers as well. So really getting supported in that, all the way to having a conversation to serve and support you. So I encourage you to really tap into those things that are going to serve and support you. The reason we have these gifts, and I ask every guest to make one available, is because I want you to have the same access I do to all of these amazing guests and radio show hosts and speakers and people that are out there serving others. You can tap into their wisdom and expertise. You can stay connected with them. So I want you to have that kind of access. And then secondly, I want you to be able to have tools and resources that you can bring forward in life that actually give you traction in all that you're doing as you're going forward. So it's not just information and concept, but you actually get to practically move forward in these areas and have tools and resources to do that. But here's the deal. The choice is yours. You get to make the decision to say yes. You get to make the decision to look at the page and say yes to those things that are going to serve and support you. So I encourage you to do that. Just like you said yes to you in joining us today on the call, I want you to keep saying yes to you and take a look. See if some of these resources, including the amazing gift that Sarah's making available, mine, or some of the other experts on the page, will serve and support you on your journey. Here's how you find the magic page. You go to Radio Gifts, and that's plural because there's multiple gifts. radiogifts.net. It's a net of multiple gifts. So radiogifts.net. You want to scroll down to today's date, which is June 7th, to access Sarah's gift. You'll see her beautiful picture and a description, and the button you'll want to click and put your name and email address so she can stay in touch and you guys can coordinate a time to talk. I encourage you to lean in and say yes to you and to these resources that are designed to really support you on your journey, especially for those of you who are feeling spread a little thin and pulled a lot of directions. This offering of services and gifts can really support and help you. So I encourage you to say yes. And I asked Sarah during this last break if she had a piece of wisdom or a tip or advice that she could give us real time right now to support us on our journey. And she said yes. So Sarah, what would you like to share with us in this closing segment?
I think the most important thing for people who are starting on an entrepreneurial journey is that it's okay to believe in yourself. It's okay to believe in your dream. A lot of times our dreams get kind of dismissed by people around us who want us to keep on doing the things that we're doing because, we fit into a certain niche in a web, and you step out of that and it causes a kind of a disturbance in the network. And so your dreams can get undermined in that way. And I think encouraging people to believe in themselves and believe in their dreams and feel like they can step out and do something different. And then, of course, get good advice. Listen to Rebecca's radio show. Listen to my radio show. Do your homework, those sorts of things. Be thorough in your explorations. But to start with, you have to really have that solid foundation within yourself, or build that solid foundation, so that you have why you want to step out and offer what it is that your dream includes.
Beautiful. Thank you. You're absolutely right. I love that. Believe in your dreams. Be excited by them. Envision them. Do visioning. Really lean in. One of the things I've discovered in my journey is sometimes, because I am a bit of a visionary, I see things. I see a gap, and I see a way that can be filled, and I can see how that makes a difference around the world. And I get very excited about that way that we can now move forward and touch the world. Right, Sarah? You know this about me. I do that.
Oh, yes.
And
absolutely.
I will go and I will share my vision, and they can't see it. And they'll start saying, well, it's not done that way. I haven't seen anyone do it that way. And inside, what I've learned that means, because at first I'd be like, oh, and kind of get disappointed because I wanted to solve that. I wanted to bring that forward. I can see how it all plays out. What I discovered is I'm the one that was given the vision. They weren't. And that I'm the first one here to the vision. I'm the first one. So there's an opportunity that I can bring forward. And as I do that, I create the bridge for them to see the vision and for them to join me. Now, I want to encourage you. You're absolutely right, Sarah. I want to underline, exclamation point, believe in your dream, believe in your vision, and be willing to stand behind it, to bring it forward because it's needed. You're frequently the first one there. You're called to build that bridge. You're called to solve that problem, and you get to lead the charge. But it starts with that belief and that conviction. And yes, I can see that. Yes, I'm willing to bring that forward. Now, I thank you for being here today, Sarah, sharing a little bit of the insider's view of your show that you've recently launched. Again, we're excited to have you on our network and sharing you and your heart and your wisdom with the world. Listeners, I want to thank you for saying yes to you, for being interested and willing to, I want to understand how to shine in your business and your life. And it starts with that believing in your dreams. So I encourage you, spend some time every day believing in your dreams, seeing what it is you need to support and empower, encourage you on your journey, and be willing to say yes to that. Be willing to lean into it so that you can bring your dream forward. And my heart's desire for you, everywhere you go, whatever you do, may you always, always bloom where you're planted and shine. I look forward to talking to you next week.
Thank you for joining us this week for Empowering Women, Transforming Lives. Please tune in again for another edition with your host, Rebecca Hall-Griter, next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 11 a.m. Pacific on the Voice America Women's Channel. And join us for a replay of the show every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific on the Voice America Empowerment Channel. Have a beautiful week, and may you always bloom where you're planted and shine.
Thanks again for listening to the preceding program, brought to you on the Voice America Women's Channel. For more information about our network and to check out additional show hosts and topics of interest, please visit voiceamericawomen.com. The Voice America Talk Radio Network is the worldwide leader in live Internet talk radio. Visit voiceamerica.com. The views and ideas expressed on the preceding program are strictly those of the host or guests and do not necessarily reflect the views and ideas held by the Voice America Talk Radio Network, its staff, and management.